There is something I've been thinking about for a long time. What if many of the thoughts we call my thoughts were never really ours to begin with? Not because anyone intended to deceive us, not because the world is cruel, simply because every human being arrives here the same way, completely open. Before we learn to question, we learn to absorb. We absorb the fears of the people raising us. We absorb the expectations of the culture around us. We absorb ideas about success, about failure, about love, about money, about who deserves to belong and who doesn't. None of this happens consciously. It happens quietly, almost invisibly, like water shaping stone. Eventually, we stop noticing the difference between what we genuinely know and what we're simply repeated often enough to believe. I don't think this is anyone's fault. Parents hand us what they were given. Teachers pass on what they were taught. Society rewards what keeps society functioning. Every generation inherits a map, then hands it to the next. The question isn't whether the map is good or bad. The question is, does it still describe the landscape you're actually walking through? That question changed something inside of me. Because I realised I wasn't actually searching for new answers. I was discovering old assumptions. Assumptions I'd never consciously chosen. Some were useful. Some protected me. Some helped me survive seasons of my life. But others quietly limited what I believed was possible. Not through force, through familiarity. It's strange how powerful familiarity is. We often mistake what is familiar for what is true. The mind likes certainty, even if that certainty creates suffering. At least suffering is predictable. The unknown asks something much harder. It asks us to become curious. Curiosity is an unusual thing. It doesn't rush to replace one belief without another. It simply asks, how do I know that's true? Not because it wants an argument, because it wants understanding. And I've noticed something. The older I become, the less interested I am in collecting opinions. And the more interested I become in observing reality. Reality is wonderfully patient. It doesn't mind if I'm wrong. It simply keeps revealing itself, piece by piece, moment by moment. The more quietly I observe, the more I notice how often my reactions weren't actually responses to the present. They were echoes, old stories, old conditioning, old conclusions playing themselves out in new situations. That doesn't make us weak. It makes us human. Awareness isn't about rejecting everything you've ever believed. That would simply become another belief. Awareness is softer than that. It gently asks, does this still belong to me? Some things do, and some things don't. And that's okay. Because perhaps the journey back to yourself isn't about becoming somebody different. Perhaps it's about becoming quiet enough to hear your own voice beneath all the others. Maybe that's why the way back never feels like building something new. It feels strangely familiar. As though you've returned to a place that has been patiently waiting for you all along.